Now, our schedules M1, M2, and M3, let's talk about what these are. We're really going to be more focused on the M1 and M3, and then even more specifically the M1, but let's talk about what they all are. These are just tax forms on the corporate tax return on the 1120. I will be showing you what they actually look like. Not that you have to memorize it. Again, I just find it very helpful to see the actual tax forms, be able to align it in your mind, say, this is what it really is. This is a real thing. It's not just Nick saying things for the sake of saying things. Schedule M1, this is used to reconcile the corporation's book income with its taxable income. Pretty straightforward, right? It's very nice. What we've been doing so far. Schedule M2 is used to reconcile the corporation's accumulated earnings and profits balance. And Schedule M3 is a more detailed version of Schedule M1 that is used by large corporations, and those being those with assets of $10 million or greater, to reconcile their financial accounting income with their taxable income. So in recap, M1 is just what we've been seeing so far, book to tax. M2 deals with the accumulated earnings and profits, and M3 is just a more detailed, you got more regulations if you're a larger company sort of form. Now, these schedules help to ensure that corporations are reporting their income and financial information accurately and consistently with tax laws and regulations. Here, just more detailed descriptions of what these all are. You can feel free to pause, read through these, but it's essentially what I was talking about up here. Let's see the actual forms themselves. Alrighty, now this is Form 1120 as promised. This is the corporate tax return. This is just a page out of it. Here we see it's page 6. Obviously, there's a lot of other pages. And Schedule M1, here we go. We've got our book income that we start with. We've got our federal income tax per the books, right? We've got these adjusting items, charitable contributions, depreciation. You see, these are items that we are going to add and subtract. And that's how we calculate our ending taxable income. And this should reconcile with what you see on the first page of the corporate tax return. And just again, just kind of think of it more so for reporting purposes for the IRS. Not only does the IRS want you to properly pay your taxes, they also want you to report items properly and make sure that they're in the know as well. M2, here this is, we've got beginning balance, ending balance, adjustments or decreases to accumulated earnings and profits. Not as important that you need to know. I mean, you could definitely see it schedule M1/M3 as a sim. I mean, in essence, is it going to be difficult if you see the tax form? No, it actually would help you because you can see it and know where things go in place as compared to if they just said calculate book to tax income. Here is Schedule M3. This is part 1. And not going to go through every line, but this is just what it looks like if you wanted to see it. A lot of information, right? So if you're a larger company, you just have a lot more information, a lot of yes, no check boxes you have to fill out. But in essence, it does the same exact thing. Just gives it a lot more in-depth information. Here we go, continuing on, right? We've got temporary and permanent differences. It actually breaks them out. So you have to break out what are temporary and what are permanent. See all of these items which have possible differences between book and tax. And lastly here, again, it just goes on and on, doesn't it? This is part 3. Again, just take a look just for your own knowledge. It could be helpful because you see a lot of items. It's helpful to memorize these possible items as those that you'd see on the exam. There are some things, depletion, parachute payments, you're not going to really see those at all. And by not really, I mean you're not going to see those on the exam. So I wouldn't worry about those. However, again, like I said, it is helpful to kind of see what we are doing. What's the purpose of all of this that we're doing? Well, there is a purpose, and here it is. All right, more examples. We love examples because this is what's going to help us to do well on the exam. Now, assume that ABC Corporation has the following financial information for year 5. Boom, 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 boom. Book income, all of these other items. Now, here's a different way of doing it than the other example we had seen. We have book income already calculated for us, and these items presumably would have been accounted for within book income. So we may have to add back or subtract out any of these depending on their taxability. To reconcile ABC Corporation's book income to its taxable income, we need to make adjustments to certain items. Here's how that would look. Well, we start out with $500,000. We are going to add back depreciation expense of $50,000, and we are going to add back interest income. We are going to deduct the interest expense here. We're going to deduct the charitable contributions, and that is going to leave us with a taxable income of $535,000. Now, this example doesn't have as much detail on the specifics, right? On the differences between, okay, is this greater than taxable income? Which is the greater expense? Is it greater under book or tax? is this interest income taxable or not? This is not an example I'd expect you to see. They'd have to give you a lot more in-depth detail, but just kind of more examples, seeing more of these possible items. So don't take this one as an example you definitely see on the exam. This is an example where it's just laid out for you, because they'd have to say depreciation expense was higher for book purposes or higher for tax purposes. Was this deductible deductible interest expense? Was this includable interest income? All of that. Now here we made some adjustments to the book income, which resulted in a higher taxable income, and we're going to use that to determine our tax liability for the year. That's that.
Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.